I'm going to try to draw this out and see how I do from memory. I just did one a second ago, but I'm not going to peek. So we have, oh, come on, pen, be nice to me. C5, C6, C7, C8, and T1 of the brachial plexus. All right, we have rami, trunks, and then there's divisions, and then we have, what is it? Oh, chords, and then what is that? Real teachers drink cold branches, beer. I almost put beer, that's funny. Okay, so we're going to separate. Makes it easier on me to make my marks. Oops, paper's moving. All the way down. All right, we're gonna go to blue. I like to start with blue. So we are going to start the base. Let's go to C5 and C6 all the way to the trunk line. C8 and T1 all the way to the trunk line, right? Now C7 is gonna go all the way, oops, a little crooked, past the branch, just a little bit, okay? Now we got to continue. So these little lines, they have to go, I don't know, about halfway into the trunk area and make a point, right? Same difference. Okay. So now we go to the division and division. All right, we're complete now. That's the first section. Now we have to connect this point to that one and that one to that one, right? We're making one more point. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to switch to the red because blue equals posterior, right? And red equals anterior. So we're going to do the anterior now. We're going to do a mimic of that, all right? So it's just going to be on the top, all the way to the trunk. The trunk. Let's do this one first, okay? Now, just like we did with the C7, but instead of going all the way, we are going to only go up to the end of the trunk area here. So we're going to start up here. It's going to go past all the way up to the division. There you go. So now that we're at the division there, what do we have to do? We have to put the points. We have to mimic the same thing, right? So hopefully these don't completely look redonkulous. Oh, that was a little crooked, but oh well. So now we need to meet up just like that one is to here. So now we're at the division point. The easiest part is to start down here and bring this all the way to the branch, okay? We're not going past the branch, we're just stopping there. Now the next one is we have to make another point with these two. So this one has to come here and that one has to come here. So this is that crisscross. One of my classmates says that these look like houses. All these little houses, like if you turn it upside down, they're all little houses, right? And so where the blue house and the red house interconnect, you have your X's. So we have all of these. I don't know if that works for you. All right, so now that we have the red, we want to match it. Just like this one down here, we're matching. Now we have to finish off the branch area. Oh, sorry, daughter messed that up. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another point. All right. So there's that in the branches. Now the bottom branch down here, this one comes out there. This one goes up there. It's going to make an M, right? Last part is 1, 2, 3. All right. So now I have my framework. And I'm not going to peek at that one. Turn it around. Okay. So now I go back and I have to draw the different nerves, right? And whether they have a C5, 6, 7, 8, or T1 associated with it. So the first one that I like to start with, right, left to right. So we start at blue, we're doing the posterior branch. We cross from C5, C6, C7, all right? There's another one right here, okay? There's one right here. And then we have one more, so we have 1, 1, 1, 1, right? And then 2 going up. And then the last one is right here. It makes like a little, almost like a Y, because that's our axillary branch. We got to get that in there. Now, other ones that I was studying, they had this thing that they said it was MARMU, right? Oops, can't read it. A-R-M-U, right? That's the musculo, the axillary, the radial, the median, and the ulnar. Well, this one's a little funky because you do have the musculo, the median, and the ulnar, but it doesn't have that AR out here like the other graphs show, like other videos. This is where those are. This is the radial, and this is the axillary. All right, so whenever you're delineating the anterior posterior branches there, then kind of makes the sense, a little bit more sense. So, okay. So now that we have the posteriors drawn, we need to draw the anteriors. And most of these will start off like going up instead of down like I was. I'm going up. So I'm going to start in the trunk area. We need to go up here, and we go back to the cords. Up, up. Oops, you can't see. My bad. Sorry. You go up on the cords, and then you go up right here and down here, and a little bit longer one down there. So far we're done with the marks. Now we have to label, right? So what is the first posterior that we did? C5, 6, and 7. That's the long thoracic nerve. So C5, 6, and 7, okay? And then this one is the dorsal scapular, which is just C5. Those ones are obvious, okay? This one crosses only over these at the very start. This one's only touching on C5. That's it. So now we can move on to here. One area that I made a little weird mnemonic for me that made sense. It might not make sense for anybody else, but it was, what did I say? Supra, low, up, clave, ax. And in my weirdness, I thought somebody went super low with their axe on an up cleave, like they're trying to hit something. They went super low on an up cleave. What that translates into, these are each different nerves, all right? We already know where the axillary is. Okay, so what is with all of these? These are all C5 and C6, okay? They all have the same. So now we know axillary is C5 and C6, right? So where are the other ones? So let's go backwards. Where's the subclavian? I call it a clave, but it's a subclavian. Well, let's go to these trunks. This is red. So it threw me off. You'd think sub would be under and super would be over, but these are opposites. So wrap your head around that. This is the subclavian, and it is C5, C6. All right. Now this is the suprascapular, and it is also C5 and C6. All right, so what about, so we have this one, we have this one, and we have this one. Now we have to find the low and up. Well, these are your subscapularis. So that's, what am I in blue? Yep. So this is your upper subscap, and that is C5 and C6. right? This is your lower subscap, which is also C5 and C6, right? So now we have upper and lower. So all your C5 and C6s, that's just those two, or yeah, those two are gone. They're done. Okay, so that leaves what? That leaves what's in the rest of the chord section. So let's look on the posterior one. This one is unique to itself. It is the thoracodorsal, right? And I find this one unique because it has the front and the back cut off, which means it is C6, C7, and C8. So no T1 and no C5. C6, 7, and 8. Now we go down to the anterior. We're still in the chords. What did I say down? Let's start up here, the singular one. This is the lateral pectoral. Okay. And then this one is the medial pectoral. All right. Now this is the medial brachial cutaneous. Now this one is the medial antebrachial cutaneous, right? So just because these two are pectorals does not mean they're the same. No, we are focusing just on this lower anterior section off of the C8 and the T1. So these are obviously only going to innervate with the C8 and T1, right? So what I just found a pattern, and this is literally C8, T1. The outside is also C8, T1. Now this middle one, since it's unique to itself, it is T1 only. Okay. Now that leaves us with that lateral pectoral. What's its deal? It's not going to be the C8, T1. No, it is innervating, right? It's with C5, C6, and C7. These are all going together. So this is C5, 6, and 7. Well, it's also the same as a musculocutaneous, which is also C5, C6, and C7. All right. Now that leaves us with this middle one. Both the radial and the medial, or median, have the same. So you have C5, 6, 7, 8, and T1. Okay? Now this is C5, 6, 7, 8, and T1. Now that leaves us with this last one. This one's kind of on its own. I mean, we have what? C5, 6, 7. This has C5, 6, 7, 8, and T1. So now we're going to cut off the front of it and just give us 3 at the end. So you're going to have, whoops, what are the back 3? C7, C8, and T1. All right, so now all that's left to do, let's use green, is to label these areas. All right, we have to label. We're going to start in the trunk section, all right? So these ones are kind of obvious. These are upper, right? And this is for the anterior specific, so it's for that one. This is middle, right? And then lower. Now we have to go to the chords, and we also have to label that. So this one, which kind of makes sense, right? Because we have a lateral, and then we have a medial. So this one is lateral. This one, oops, medial. Okay. And now this leaves this one. It's a little funky, threw me off a little bit, but it is the posterior. For some reason, I remember oddballs out, like little oddball things. That's why I have my own little funky way of doing this. All right, so that is the brachial plexus for Concordia University Anatomy and Physiology class. I am supposed to draw this within 15 minutes. Good luck.